I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about some other things you got going on. I know you're involved with the Valiant Management Team and all the NIL opportunities that are coming to student athletes. So I haven't got to ask you this question before, but what do you think about the influence of NIL on intercollegiate athletics? Where do you think, I mean, where we are now, do you think that's how it's going to be? Do you think that there's going to be is some balance going to come to the force? What do you think is on the horizon?
I was a big advocate of NIL when I was playing. I'm like, man, this is criminal to see 88 jerseys up in the stands. I'm like, I didn't see a dime of that, you know? Someone was getting, so I was like, hey, this is what needs to happen. We can also say that it's true and say the way NIL is currently being used, it's pay for play. You know, it's not name, image, and likeness. There's some of that. I think whenever change happens, there's a little bit of short-term volatility. Like right now, you're seeing an extreme. I don't necessarily know that it's sustainable. I do think it's here to stay. I think over time it's going to settle into something that's a little bit more rhythmic and realistic. In terms of Valiant Management, you see, you know, Tennessee paying that quarterback $8 million. I know and you know how important culture is for football. What does it do for your culture if you pay a 16-year-old unproven kid $8 million and then say you have a walk-on that comes in that's better than him? Well, the team knows the walk-on's better, but whoever paid that $8 million wants that guy to play. That can erode your culture. I think what Valiant's doing, and you've heard Jim talk about, we want Michigan to be transformational, not transactional. We'll incentivize good play. When you succeed on the field, that's when we're going to pay you, and you'll be paid well. That's how you encourage good culture, not erode your culture. So I think there's a long game to be played here. I think Michigan's doing a great job of how they're handling it, and they have all the resources in the world where, like, it shouldn't matter. Michigan has plenty of resources to compete with everybody. It's just how you do it.
Yeah, and so, but you just said how it is now. Look, how it is now everywhere else. Like at Michigan, you know how it's being done here. Valiant obviously has a key role in that, but almost everywhere else it seems. I mean, pay for play is going on, man. So competing in that environment where, you know, all these other schools that you weren't hearing from before in recruiting are now suddenly reeling in prospects left and right. What about the competitive landscape? Can you keep up with the Joneses without doing what the Joneses do?
Right. I mean, that's I don't think Michigan wants to get in the bidding war. I don't think and I also believe that they don't necessarily have to. I think there's so many great things about this school that'll make up for some of it. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a guy like, say, JJ or Cade this year. Both of them made a significant amount of cash last year. And the better they do and the more they perform, you're going to see those deals come about. So that tells the high school recruit, we're not going to pay you just for coming here. But I promise you, if you come here and you play well, you're going to get paid and you're going to get paid well. So that's kind of playing the long game. Ryan Day, what did he say, $13 million? And
that was not even for recruiting. That was just for his squad. That was for the current team. I need $13 million just to keep my team
So what's
together.
The cap? $20 million then if you count recruit? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a small percentage, though. Like, it's a 1%, and it's the same in the NFL. It's the same in the NBA. There's a handful of dudes that are making seven figures. Maybe a smaller portion that are making 50,000, 100,000. Most guys will just make a couple thousand in their career, you know? So for most guys, it shouldn't be a factor. Go where you think you're going to succeed so you can go to the NFL. That's where you'll make the life-changing money. There's only a handful of dudes that will make life-changing money in college.